Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear students. I am Dr. Nadia Taimur, Assistant Professor, Department of Botanical and Environmental Sciences, CUST. Today we will discuss the topic megasporogenesis and megagametogenesis from the course Introduction to Embryology of Angiosperms. The outline of today's lecture includes 3 subtopics. These are: number 1, development of megaspore mother cell; number 2, megasporogenesis or development of megaspore; number 3, megagametogenesis or formation of female gametophyte or embryo sac. So first we discuss development of megaspore mother cell. Now the question is, what is megasporogenesis? Megasporogenesis is the formation of haploid megaspores from diploid megaspore mother cell. Now this involves meiotic division. The first step in the megasporogenesis is the formation of megaspore mother cell. So this diagram here represents different stages of megaspore mother cell and megasporogenesis. So this diagram shows how megaspore develops. So when ovule primordium develops, it develops as a multicellular placental outgrowth including epidermal and a number of hypodermal cells. The development of ovule gave rise to nucellus and to integuments, as can be seen here and here. So in the micropylar region of the nucellus, usually a single hypodermal cell gets differentiated from other cells. Now this cell is called primary archisporial cell. This primary archisporial cell contains a big nucleus, dense cytoplasm, and has a large size as compared with other cells. Now this cell divides periclinally and forms outer parietal cell and inner sporogenous cell. The parietal cell may either remain undivided or undergoes a few periclinal and anticlinal division, resulting in layer of cells, so that the sporogenous cell gets embedded in the nuclear mass. This primary parietal cell undergoes repeated vertical division and forms a number of layers. Now this sporogenous cell, due to division of primary parietal cell, gets embedded and becomes subhypodermal in position and then acts as a megaspore mother cell. So this sporogenous cell now becomes megaspore mother cell. So there is another diagram which shows the sequence of events during formation of megaspore mother cell. As we know, megasporogenesis is the formation of 4 haploid megaspores from diploid megaspore mother cell due to meiosis. The megaspore mother cell before meiotic division is diploid and then undergoes meiosis and forms 4 haploid megaspores, which are shown here. The first division of megaspore mother cell is transverse, forming 2 cells. Both the cell again divide transversely and thus 4 haploid megaspores are formed. The megaspores are then arranged in an axial row called linear tetrad. Now this is the diagram of the axial row of haploid megaspores. Of these 4 megaspores, only one megaspore, which remains towards the callosal end, behaves as a functional megaspore, and the other 3, which remain towards the micropylar end, gradually degenerate. This functional megaspore forms the female gametophyte or the embryo sac. A megaspore is a haploid structure and represents the first cell of the female gametophyte. It develops to form fully matured gametophyte as shown here. Now we come to the topic megagametogenesis. Now the megagametogenesis is the process in which female gametophyte or embryo sac is formed. As we discussed earlier, the single functional megaspore enlarges at the expense of nucellus and forms the female gametophyte or the embryo sac. The megaspore now divides by 3 successive mitotic divisions and form 8 nuclei. So the first division forms 2 nuclei, the second division forms 4 nuclei, and the third mitotic or nuclear division forms 8 nuclei. These 8 nuclei then arranges in the embryo sac. Of these 8 nuclei, 3 nuclei at the micropylar end undergoes cytokinesis. These 3 cells get surrounded by plasma membrane and now forms the egg apparatus. So the egg apparatus contains 2 synergid cells, 1 egg cell, and this egg cell actually represents the female gamete. Of the 3 nuclei at callosal end, they also undergo cytokinesis and form 3 antipodal cells. The remaining 2 nuclei, which are shown here, are present in the center. They do not follow cytokinesis. These are called central or polar nuclei or definitive nuclei. So this entire structure is called embryo sac. So these 2 structures are embryo sacs, and it represents the mature female gametophyte. So normally it contains 3 plus 2 plus 3 arrangement of cells in a typical embryo sac. The mature female gametophyte consists of 8 nuclei, as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can count it by yourself, but only 7 cells. How? So 1 egg cell, 2 synergids, 3 antipodal cells, and 1 remaining cell in which two polar nuclei or 1 secondary nucleus are present. The mature female gametophyte or embryo sac in a typical arrangement is 7-celled and 8 nucleated. So again, it contains 1 egg cell, 2 synergids, 3 antipodal cells, and 1 largest central cell with 2 polar nuclei. So now let's discuss the synergids, egg cell, and antipodal cells. So first we begin with synergids. So synergids are 2 elongated cells present at the micropylar end of the ovule, 1 on each side of the ovule. The characteristic feature of the synergid cells is the presence of finger-like filiform apparatus. It is developed due to chemotactic stimulus. It transports the secretion products towards the micropylar tip of egg apparatus, where pollen tube establishes contact with the embryo sac. Synergids play an important role in directing the pollen tube growth by secreting some tropically active substances like sucrose. The degenerating synergids help pollen tube to discharge and release its contents in the embryo sac. Some workers have suggested its hostorial or nutritive function as well. So the next group of cells is antipodal cells. These are usually 3 in number, present at the calyzal end of the embryo sac. These cells degenerate before or soon after fertilization. These antipodal cells serve to provide nutrition to the proembryo. And in the end, we discuss the egg cell. Egg cell is a single haploid cell at the micropylar end. So here at the micropylar end, this one, between the 2 synergids. This egg cell represents the female gamete, and when fertilized by the male gamete, it forms a diploid zygote. So this was all about the processes megasporogenesis and megagametogenesis. The last slide contains references of 2 books, Embryology of Angiosperms and Flowering Plant Embryology. I hope this lecture was helpful. Thanks.